Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for joining our Brainchild webinar for administrators. My name is Amanda Brown and I will be going over the new Achiever website. To go over the new site, one of the main things that I would like to show you is our new web address. The new web address you will see at the top of my screen is http://achiever.brainchild.com. So this is the address you will put in this area to get into our Achiever website. So there's no www. You just type achiever.brainchild.com and it will bring you directly into your login screen. If you're using Mechanics, we have mechanics.brainchild.com. So just to keep that in mind, it's a completely different program and you will use the mechanics.brainchild.com. Now you will enter your username and password into the system, and we have this @ symbol and a box next to that where you can enter in your school name. So everyone in your school will use the same school name, and we've created that for each account using the Achiever program. So that is what we call the school short name that will go into the box next to every user's username. Then they have the @ symbol, and then they put in their school short name. So like I said, it will be the same short name for all of the users in your school. So all of the teachers, administrators, and students have that same name. So we will administer that name to you by sending you an email or letting you know when your account is set up as a new customer. And the first thing I'll do is just log in as a student, just so you can see what a student looks like while using the program. So I have logged in as a 4th grade student, and they will have all of the subjects available to them that the school has purchased and assigned to the student. So I have my language arts, math, and science icons. So to begin working as a student, all I need to do is click on one of the subjects, and all of the available standards will appear. And the first thing that I can do while working in the program is just click on any of the standards that I would like to use to begin. So we always instruct everyone in the school to tell their students to use the program however they see fit. The students can start working on the standards starting from the top and working their way down, or we can have the teachers instruct the students to work according to their teaching learning plan or lesson plan that they have in their classroom. So whatever works best for your school and your teachers. So the first thing the student would do is just click on a standard to begin, and the very first option is for the student to take a pretest. That is a one-time test that rates their knowledge of that standard. So they just click on it, and it will take them into their 10 random questions from that test. They answer the questions by selecting one of the multiple choice answers. They go through, and once they've completed the test, it will show them their score, their correct answers, and incorrect answers, the time they've spent, and then they can go and review their mistakes or go back to their learning plan. If they select Review Mistakes, it will show all of the questions they've answered incorrectly, and they can select the Explain option, and this will pop up why that question's answer was not correct and help guide them to the correct answer. So it is a great option that we have to the program to help the students learn from their mistakes. So we don't just say, no, you're wrong, here's the right answer. We show them what made that incorrect and how they can select a different answer to find the correct answer. If they select another answer, it will show the Explain option again, different from the first one, helping again guide the student to the correct answer. We can continue doing this until they find the correct answer. Once they've answered it correctly, they'll have a green check mark next to that option. Once they're finished, they can continue reviewing the different questions or go back to their learning plan. So the first thing each student needs to do is take a pretest on that standard. After they've taken the pretest, they can click on the standard, and they then can go on to play the lesson, study, and take the post-test with unlimited usage. For the play lesson mode, if they click on it, It's a 1-minute speakered lesson that goes over the concept of that standard. So this is apostrophes, and this is explaining to students what it is to use apostrophes and how to learn where it goes and things like that. So this is where the student would go to learn the standard. And then they can go on to study and take a post-test. So the study mode, different than the test mode, because the students are answering the questions, the explain button automatically comes up if they answered incorrect, or the green check mark appears if they've answered it correct. So it tells them the question's result right as they're working on each question. So they can select next, continue on, the explain button pops up, and then they can learn from their mistakes and continue to study and practice until they have the correct answer. And just work through the system that way. So this really helps the student, while working on the question, learn from their mistakes. Once they've worked on studying, they then can go back to their learning plan, and then they can do the post-test. And the post-test is another 10-question test they can work on using the program, and it will score them like in the pre-test. So they'll just go through and answer the questions, and then at the end of the test, they can go and review their mistakes or go back to their learning plan. So very simple for the students to use the program. Like I mentioned, the play lesson, study mode, and post-test are available with unlimited usage. So the student can continue to play the lesson, study, and take the post-test until they receive a high score that's satisfactory for the school. They go back to their learning plan. What we've done is created symbols to make it easy to tell what the student has worked on. So the green check mark is 80% or higher that the student has worked on for the post-test. So if they receive a green check mark, it means they've received 80% or higher on that standard post-test. So that would be the goal for the student. So you can just let the students know that they need to work on the system all the way through until they receive a green check mark on the program. The yellow circle is 70%, and anything below 70 will have a red circle next to it and the score. It also is, if they haven't worked on that standard at all, you'll see this slash mark next to it, just showing that the student has not worked on it. So like I mentioned, the student's goal is for them to work on the standards to receive a green check mark. And when the students are finished, they need to select log out. Now I will log in as an administrator. Once logged in as an administrator, you have two portions to your screen. There's the report section and the management section. As an administrator, you have all of the things available that the teachers have with some extra features. Administrators in the school are the only ones that can enroll teachers. So you have to enroll all of your teachers into the program before they can begin using it. So that is the first step that you should do while using the program. So we have two options while enrolling teachers. You can import teachers in a batch file, which would import all of your teachers at once into the system, or you can enroll the teachers individually. So I'll show you how to import all of your teachers. I select the import teacher link. My school name will show. And then what I need to do is create a batch file for all of my teachers to be imported into the system. If I click example with comma file, this will show me an Excel file that I can use to import my teacher. So what I want to do is enter all of my teachers' first name and last names all on this Excel file. So you can see by my sample file, I have row 1. This is called my title row. This is optional to leave on the file or not. I always recommend leaving it so you create all of the correct name fields. You will leave this on your file if you'd like, and then you'll see the sample teacher name. So you need to enter a first name of your teacher and a last name. The middle name is optional, and the username and password fields are also optional. If you do not enter a teacher's username or password in these fields, the system will default both the username and the password to be the teacher's first name. So if you have Michael as the teacher's first name, their username will be Michael and their password will be Michael. The system will create its own unique name for each teacher. So if you have 2 Michaels in the school, it will add a number at the end of the teacher's first name to make it unique. So it might be Michael 8 until the system can find a unique username for that teacher. You also have the option to enter your own usernames and passwords. So if you'd rather have it be the teacher's last name or a special password, whatever works best for you. What I always recommend is deleting out these names from the sample file and just copying and pasting your own from your own list or typing in your own teacher. So I will type in a teacher's first name, last name, username that I would like, and password of multiple teachers. I'll enter those in. And I'll leave this teacher's username and password blank. Once you complete your file, you need to save it to your computer. And I always name my file as what I'm using. And the save as type always needs to be saved as a CSV, delimited. If you're working from the sample file, it will already default to the CSV, delimited. If you're just working from an Excel workbook, from the drop-down list, you just need to scroll down to select CSV, delimited. And then select Save. So this will save your file, and you close out and go back to your Achiever screen. And you need to find the file by selecting Browse. Select your file. Select if we left row 1 as a title row. And then select Import. This will import all of your features for you in one batch file. It will tell you if the status is okay. Now, if I had an error to the name, then I can just enroll that one teacher with the error next to it. So everyone else on the list with an OK next to it means that they have been enrolled successfully. Okay, so very simple to do a batch enrollment. You can have 50 teachers on this list, and it will just quickly import them all into the system from that file. Once you're finished, you can select the back button or the home button. This will bring you back to your home screen. Now we have the Enroll a Teacher option. This will bring you to your individual teacher enrollment. So on the right side of the screen, under Create and Edit Users, this will allow me to enroll an individual teacher. If I had an error on my screen, or if you just want to enroll your teachers individually, this is where you will go. So you just enter the teacher's first name, last name. You can put the teacher's middle name if you would like. The system automatically shows their first name as the username and password. You can change that here. Make sure Active is selected. And you can enter the teacher's email if you would like for easy reference. And then select Save. So it's just that simple to enroll a teacher, whether by batch import or individually. Over on the left section, this will show all of the teachers in the system. You can search for individual teachers by their first name, last name, or login, and then you can find that particular teacher. This will show you the teachers' first names, last names, login, password, whether they're active or not, the district, and the school short name. Under the Options area, you can select the key to change the teacher's password. You can select the pencil to edit a teacher, so they'll bring their information right back up. You can make any changes. If you misspelled the name, you can change that here and select Save. You can delete a teacher by selecting the red circle next to their name. Select OK to delete. So this is a great screen to make any changes to your teacher's information to. And once you're finished, you can just select Home. So very easy to get your teachers enrolled into the system. Now the next thing that we have is for you to import your students. The teachers do have the ability to import their own students if you would like them to. So you can instruct your teachers to do that if you would like. But we usually recommend that one administrator in the school do the enrollment. This will cut back on duplicate students being enrolled. So if you have a math teacher enrolling their students and a language arts teacher enrolling their students, if they share the same students, then you'll end up with duplicate enrollment. The students should only be enrolled into the program one time. Okay, so we always recommend one administrator in the school doing the student enrollment. To do the import file, you can select Import Student. This will allow you to import your students by grade level into the program. So you want to do one grade at a time in your enrollment. And so you can select the example with comma file, just like you did with a teacher. This file is exactly the same as your teacher enrollment file. So you will see this file, first name, middle name, last name, username, and password. Again, you have the option to enter the middle name if you would like, and you have the option to enter the students' usernames and passwords. If you do not enter the students' usernames and passwords, it will default to their first name, just like it would with the teacher. So you can copy and paste your own student list into this file, or you can type in all of your students, whatever works best for you. You can have 100 students on each grade level file, and it will import them just as quick and easy into the system as if you had 3. So real easy to get your students imported. Again, this needs to be done by grade level. So once you've finished working on that grade, select Save As. And I always like to save my student files with the grade level in the name. That way I don't accidentally enroll the wrong grade level. So I just put 4, knowing that I'm going to enroll 4th grade students. And then I make sure my Save As type is CSV. And select Save. Then I close out of my file, go back to my Achiever page. My school name is selected. I select the grade I would like to enroll. So on this screen, it will tell me what licenses I have available for that grade. So this is showing me what the school has purchased and how many spots I have left for the students to be enrolled. I can select the courses I would like the students to be enrolled into. And if I want to select multiple courses, I just hold down the control button on my keyboard and select the additional courses. And by selecting these courses, when I'm finished importing the students into the system, they will actually be able to log in the program and start working on the courses I selected for them at the point of their enrollment. So I selected the courses, and then I just need to find the file that I've created. Select if I left tile row, and select import. So this will show me that my students were imported successfully with their login and their password. So really easy, got my 4th grade students in. Now I just need to repeat the process for all of the students that are going to be using the program for each grade level. And I can show you with that enrollment, I can log out of my administrator account and log in as the student that I just enrolled, and I will have language arts, math, and science available for the student to begin working. So very, very easy. Just get your students imported and they can start working on the program. Okay. So I'll log back in as my administrator. Now, just like the teacher option, we do have the enroll a student option. So if you want to enroll individual students, this is where you would go. This is a great area if you have a new student coming in the school year. You can just have your teachers or as the administrator log in your students individually. So you can just enter the student's first name, last name, and again the system will default it to the student's username as their first name. Make that change. Select the grade. Select the courses. And select Save. That will enroll an individual student. It's very simple. Now at the enrollment process, you do have the option to enter the student's email, the parent's name, email, and phone number. So this is a great area for you to use to just have quick and easy access to their contact information. You do not need to put that information into the screen, into the student's account, but you can if you would like. At the top area, we have the option for you to filter out students. If you want to find particular students, you can enter their first name, last name, or log in and select search, and it will find any students in your school that have that field attached to their name. So really easy to get your students in. Again, we have the options section next to each student's name where you can make any changes. If you select the pencil, it'll bring their account information up. You can edit anything in this screen, their username, password. You can change their grade level if you would like, make any changes, and then select save. So if you select the notepad next to the student's name, this will show you their quick student information. I select the notepad, it'll pull up and show me the student's name and grade and the courses that they have been enrolled in. If I have mapped a student to a teacher's class, so that is something I'll show you in a minute how to do. If I have done that, if I select that notepad for students that have been added to a class, it will show me the teacher's name and the class that they've been added to. So this is a great, easy way for you to tell if students have been added to a teacher's class. And real quick, just like I showed you with the teacher account, if you would like to delete any students, it's just that red circle next to their name that will allow you to delete. And also, if you enrolled a student and you did not select the course, or maybe you enrolled a student into language arts and you forgot to give them that, you can select that blue piece of paper with a pencil on it, and this is their courses option. On the left, it shows all of their available courses. On the right, it shows the courses they have been added to. This also shows your licenses available. So you can move a course over to give a student that available course. So once it's on the right side of the screen and you select save, this will give that student that course. So now they can begin working on the language arts that I just gave them. So really easy to make any changes to your students' information, and then I can select home to go back to my main screen. Now once you have enrolled your students and selected courses for them at the time of enrollment, like I mentioned, they can begin working on the program. What you should do is create classes for your teachers after you've enrolled your teachers and add students to those teachers' classes by mapping them. This way you can pull reports on your student. You can have the students begin at the time of enrollment, but you cannot pull any of your data reporting if they have not been added to a class. So to have effective reporting purposes, you need to create classes for your teachers and add your students to your teachers' classes. Teachers do have the ability to do this on their own, so you can determine whether you want to do this for your teachers or have the teachers do it themselves. So simple, easy to create your teachers' classes. Select the Create Class icon, select the teacher that you would like to create a class for, and then over on the right under Create and Edit Class here, you can add any course that's available that has been purchased by the school. So if you select the grade, and you can select a course period. If you do not want to use periods in your school, just select 0 and select Save. That will add the class for me. If I would like to make any changes to the class, I can select a pencil, and this will let me make any changes to the class and the period. And select Save. So really easy to create your teacher's classes. You just repeat for all the classes that teacher is teaching. So say they teach 4th grade language arts, 8 different periods in a day, and they want to group those out by the correct class period. Just continue to create the different courses that they teach. So repeat for all classes, and if you select your home screen, you then have the option to add students to those classes. So if you select the Map Students button, select the teacher you would like to add students to their classes, select the class, and all of the available students will appear. If you would like to filter this out by particular grade, select the grade, and then it will only show the students that are enrolled in that grade. To add students to the class, you will see all the students that have not been added to the left. Students that have been added will show on the right. So you can just select the students you would like to add by clicking the arrow next to their name, and this will add those students to that class. And you select Save. So very easy to add students to your class. If you do not select a course for your students at the point of enrollment, when you add them to a class, this will add that course for them. So if I did not select language arts when I enrolled these students, they now will have language arts available on their screen. The license will be taken either at the point of enrollment or at the point of mapping. So it will show you how many licenses you have available. If I add another student, I select Save. If that student was given that course at the point of their enrollment, it will not deduct the license from this area because it was already deducting that license amount at the point of their enrollment. So you would just repeat this process for all of the classes that teacher is teaching. So then just scroll through, add the different students, and select Save. Really easy to map students to teachers' classes. And like I mentioned, teachers can do this on their own. So it is available for you as an administrator to do for them, or teachers can do it on their own.
And just so you know, students can be mapped to multiple teachers for the same subject. So if they have one teacher for reading and a different teacher for writing, both teachers can map the students for their language arts classes.
Another area we have down under management, we have create assignments and print tests. Now the create assignment allows you or a teacher to create students assignments for them. So students can log into their screen, they'll have an assignment on their page which is a random 10 questions from a standard that was given to them. And they can just click on the assignment and begin answering the 10 questions that was given to them in their assignment. It's a great area to use for teachers to cut back on instruction time. So students can walk into the class, log in, and an assignment is right there on their page. So no one has to tell the students what to do, it's just simply there for them to do. And this is also great for students to use at home. If they have internet access at home or computer labs, libraries, things like that, they can log in and they'll see exactly what they need to do without anyone instructing them. Then we have the print test option. This allows you to create a paper pencil test for the students to use, and it just shows all of the questions available within a selected standard. You can just select a different question, add them to a test, hit print, and it prints out all of the questions on paper and pencil for the student. And a separate page is printed for an answer key. So these are available options for teachers to use. I am going to go over these in more detail in my teacher training session that I have. And we have the group instruction. I'll show you group instruction really quick. This allows you to select a grade. And this will show you what it looks like as a student for that grade. So I have a lot of people tell me that they enroll a fake student just to see what it looks like for a student to work in the program. That's actually not necessary. You can just select a grade and it will show all of the students' available subjects. You can click on them and work on the system like a student would without any scores registering anywhere. So this won't reflect any of your reporting as you work in the system under group instruction. The main purpose to the group instruction is for you as administrators or teachers to plug in your computer to an LCD screen or a smart board and project the Students Achiever program onto a large screen to get your full classroom involved. So using group instruction, you do not need to take a pretest. There's no need to rate your knowledge on the standard before you begin, but it allows you to do the play lesson, study, and post-test like a student would. But if you have it on a large screen, you can have your students raise their hands to try to answer what they think is the correct multiple choice answer. So great to get your whole classroom involved with instruction. If the answers appear, questions, they can read the question, then raise their hands to select an answer. And they can all learn from each other's mistakes. So that is available for everyone to use. Now we have the reporting section. Now the first 4 reports in this menu are available for your teachers. So again, I'll go over these reports in more detail in my teacher training webinar. Student password list report. This allows you to select a teacher and a grade and a class, and this will show all of the students that are mapped to that teacher's class. So if you do your class mapping for your teachers, you can instruct them to pull their own password report by the classes they teach, so then they can give their students their usernames and passwords to begin. This report can be exported to an Excel, PDF, or printed. So you can print this off for your teachers and give this out to them if you'd like. Now we also have this report available to show students that have not been mapped to a class. So if you import all of your students and you don't map them yet and you want to get them their usernames and passwords, you can select choose one option, which will default it back, select a grade, and select the box that's checked, show students without classes. Select the course you've enrolled your students in, and this will show all of the students that have been enrolled in the program and not mapped to a course. So these are students that have not been mapped to a teacher's class. You can distribute this to your teachers, or they can pull this report themselves. So great report to get your students' usernames and passwords. Also shows the school short name, so they know what to enter at the @ symbol. If you have enrolled students into the original Achiever, please contact us and we'll get that taken care of for you. So you can email me or call me. My email is just amanda@brainchild.com, or you can call me at our 800-811-2724 number. Okay. Now if we go back to our home page, another report available is the student report. I select the student report option. This will allow me to select a teacher and a grade and a class the teacher is teaching. I want to select show all students. This will show me all of the students that have been enrolled into the program and have worked in the system. So it will show all of the standards that student has worked on. I can select the different classes, and it will list all of the work the student has worked on. By each standard, it will show the first score, last score, the last test date, how many times they've worked on it, the class average, and the time they've spent. And then it will show the average at the bottom. I can select toggle graph, and it will show me in graph form their pre- and post-test scores. So really easy. If you want to select just an individual student instead of the whole class, select the student from the drop-down list and select Show the Student Report, and just shows the one student. So you can pull this by individual student, or if you want to select by whole class, do not select the student and show all student reports. This shows you all of the students that are enrolled in the class and the work that they've done. If you export this report to a PDF file, this will put each student's reporting information on its own PDF page. So you can print off your PDF file, and each student enrolled in your class will have their own separate page printed for them as their report is shown. So this is a great area to print all of your student reports before your parent-teacher conferences, or before the end of the semester. You can add your student reporting into their student file. So great area to come and print off all of your student reports. Also, if you're going to delete a student from the program, I recommend pulling your student report before you've done that. Like I said, this report is available for your teachers, so you can have all of your teachers print off their student reports before their parent-teacher conferences or at the end of the semester. Then we have the same report by classroom, just quick showing your pre- and post-test scores. And we have an assignment report that will show you the scores of assignments that students have worked on if the teacher has given a student an assignment. So I will go over these reports in more detail for my teacher training. As an administrator, like I mentioned, you have an additional 4 reports that teachers do not have. If you select a teacher usage report, This will show you in graph form how many minutes the teachers have logged into the system. So if they've logged into Achiever, it will show you in minutes how much time they've spent in the program. On the left side of the screen, it will show you the teacher's first name, middle name, last name, the last date they've logged in, and their time they've spent. You can export this to Excel, PDF, or print. You can select a particular grade just to find the grade, the teachers that teach that grade. You want to run this by grade, and you can also find this by particular teacher. So really great to just get a quick glance and see if your teachers are using the system. Select Home, bring you back to your reporting. We have our usage report. This will list all of the grades and courses that were purchased by the school, then the number of students that are enrolled to each grade and course, the number of activities, the time that's been spent, and the expiration date of that course. So a great way to keep track of your accounts, great way to know and be prepared for when they expire. If you want to submit a purchase order before they expire, it's a great idea. And also it's a great way to just quickly see if the school is using the accounts that were purchased. So you could take a look and see that you've purchased 5th grade and there are no students enrolled in your 5th grade. You might want to speak with your 5th grade teachers, get the students using the program that you've purchased. And you select the home option. You then have the school-wide standards report. If you select a grade and a course, this will show you all of the standards that the students have worked on within that grade and course for the entire school. Show you the pre-test scores and post-test scores as an average. So you can take a look at this report and see if maybe you need to talk to your teachers within that grade and course. If they have low scores, they can maybe create some extra homework assignments or print tests for the students to get those standards to have higher scores. So if you're showing summarization has 10%, you might want to get your teachers to work on summarization a little bit more. So a great way to look at your standards. And then we have the school-wide course report. By selecting the grade and the course, this will list all of the teachers that have that courses created, the class average, and the school average. So a quick glance to see your particular teacher's class average and compare it with the rest of the school. All of our reports can be exported to Excel, PDF, or please select Home, and it'll bring you back to your main screen. So that is all of the administrator features. We have our Support Center icon. This is going to bring you to our Achiever user guides. You click on the Achiever Mechanics section. This will show you our administrator guide and our teacher guide. So this is available for administrators and teachers to print. Then we have our help videos. We have recorded videos for our training session, all broken up into individual videos. So you want to have your teachers watch videos on how to create their classes and add students to their classes, or just on how the students begin using the program. These are here and available for teachers and administrators to watch at any time. And you can always contact us, and I'll be able to help you anytime if you email or call. So again, my email is amanda@brainchild.com. So this concludes our administrator training session. I want to thank everyone for joining me today, and please feel free to contact me if you do have any questions while using the program. I'll be happy to assist you and instruct your teachers to join our Trainings for Teacher webinar. So we thank you for being part of the Brainchild team, and have a great day.